This is part 3 of our study of John 1, 1 to 14. We'll be covering verses 4 and 5. John 1, 4. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. Let's break it into clauses. And we see first, in him was life. That in Jesus, the Logos, was life. Well, what is life? Well, it takes us to Genesis, where God created man's body out of the dust, but he wasn't alive until God breathed life into man. So life is found in God and is breathed into person. So what is life? It's the opposite of death, where we are dead, we're not functioning, we don't exist. Life is we are functioning and we exist. Life also has the idea of the quality of life, that we're functioning well. And we learn from James that God provides every good thing that we experience. So we learn that Jesus was life and that he has life in him, and that continues. It's the imperfect, just like verses 1 and 2, that life has always been in Jesus. And we see that with the first word, the word in. So in Jesus is the source of life, that we can't have life outside of him, and everything that we enjoy that is good comes from him, because he is both the author and sustainer of life, having life reside in him to where we access life in him. He connects the second phrase with the words and that life was, and he brings in a second metaphor of light. When we think of light, we think of illuminating the darkness, like we can't see, and then the light comes, and then we can see. So we don't understand, we don't know, and then the light helps us see and understand. So the life that was in Jesus illuminates us to know God. It is the light of man. It's not one of many lights, but the light. There is one light from the life that is in Jesus. And so Jesus' life illuminates us to God. We as people don't naturally seek God. We don't naturally want to know God. We don't naturally follow God. So Jesus coming into the world shines his light and helps people know God and find relationship with him. Jesus was the light of man. So let's go on to John 1:5, then we'll come back and summarize those two verses together. John 1:5, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. We'll break that into two clauses, and we first look at the contrast between light and darkness, just what we expected when we saw the metaphor introduced in verse 4. Light shines in darkness. It's dark, you can't see, you don't know what's going on, and when light shines, then things are illuminated. We now understand, we see what's going on. And so people in their natural state do not seek God. They do not know God. People don't have a relationship with God or understand him naturally. But when Jesus came, he shined in that he put forth the light into the darkness so that then people could understand who God was and have a relationship with him. As the light shines in the darkness, so where does light shine? It can shine in light, but you don't really see it. But Jesus came to the earth in the darkness where he shines, and the darkness has not overcome it. So the darkness cannot overcome light, which we know makes sense. If darkness wants to try to overcome light, it gets darker, it gets stronger. But the more dark something is, the brighter the light shines. If you've ever been in a cave where there is absolutely no light, and you turn out the light and you can see nothing, even your hand right in front of your face, and then you light just a very small light, it illumines the entire cave and it seems so bright. So the darker the darkness is, the brighter the light shines. Darkness cannot overcome light. Darkness is the absence of light. Light is a ray, we've learned from modern science. And so the presence of light overcomes darkness. And in the same way, darkness, not knowing God, not understanding who God is, not having a relationship with God, that work cannot be stopped by Jesus shining who God is and illuminating people to know God. So let's put these verses together now, John 1, 1 to 5, and review our memory of them. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of man. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So as we're seeing that these 5 verses are talking about Jesus, let's review what we've learned. That Jesus exists eternally. Jesus is different from God the Father. Jesus is God. Jesus has an eternal relationship with God. Jesus created everything. Jesus is the source of life. Jesus is the source of light. Jesus provides life for everyone. Jesus provides a relationship with God, and Jesus' work cannot be stopped. That is so powerful. And I encourage you as you continue to meditate on these verses to get them fully memorized so that we can reflect on the amazing qualities of Jesus.